Shalom, shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kakwadash. It's your brother Elder Bishop Ayathun back at you with another video. This might be a quick one. I don't know if you brothers and sisters have learned or know about this, but Esau is mad. Over there in Nebraska, Oklahoma, the farmers, they're big mad. You know, if I haven't said this yet, I want to say all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakadash, double honors to the apostles, to the bishops, Shalom, to the elect out there, Shalom. Again, this is your brother Bishop Ayathun back at you with another video. And yeah, man, the Edomites over there in Nebraska, Oklahoma, those farm states, they are mad as hell. You know, because they set their own selves up, but that was a spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, right? The Most High had them dig a fucking pit that they ass fell right the F into, all right? And this is dealing with the immigration. You know, they wanted so bad to kick the Latin tribes out of their states, the so-called immigrants. When you're the real immigrant, you're the immigrant, you're the alien, you're the illegal alien, all right? You're here in a place where you don't belong. You belong up in the caves. Matter of fact, when you go sign up for a job application, you put Caucasian. You check mark Caucasian because you're from the Caucasus Mountains. You are from the caves. Mount Petra. So you're the real immigrants. You're the real alien. You're the strangers, the foreigners, the goyim that the Bible speaks of. So the Most High is returning everything upon your head. As Benjamin would say, everything Most High is returning upon your dome piece. All right? So I got a couple videos here. I got a couple scriptures. And so let's just get into it. So I'm going to play this one. Yeah, matter of fact, no, let me play the other one first. I got to go back in my history to find it. This one here. Now, if you put this in the Jew2, right? You type this in right here. White farmers angry. Just type that in. White farmers angry. And there's a whole plethora of videos. And you know what the funny thing is? A lot of these videos are from cats or Nigerians. You know, a lot of them are from Nigerians. Some cats that look like Hamites, but they probably Israelites, right? But it seems like a lot of Nigerians. Oh, and what I heard as well is, no, not in the authorities in Ghana. I'm pretty sure it's Ghana, right? You can fact check me, but it's in Ghana that they have agreed to let Jake basically have their own neighborhoods, their own city, their own town. And so what they're going to do is they're going to build a small town for them and allow them to move there and live there for a while and just see how things go. You know? So the other nations is what I'm trying to get at. The other nations are watching. They're watching what's going on here. All right? So, man, there's so many here videos about this to choose from. The one I'm looking for was, let me see. There's one particular guy I'm looking for. I watched him yesterday, but I can't find him. But let's pick one, man. What's the one I started watching earlier? Hold on, let me see. What's the one I started to get at? Okay, yeah, maybe this one.
Had to have thought.
White farmers are outraged that black people do not want to work on their farms.
Why can't you just hire them?
They don't want to come out here and work.
They kept hearing Trump saying that the black people jobs were being taken. I'm thinking, and
Well, this is what Esau thought. Esau thought, you know, we'll get rid of the spics and the bean eaters, right? We'll get rid of them, and then we'll just get all the niggas to work. Like, you see what I'm saying? Because in their mind, they voted for Trump. And as we've been telling y'all, make America great again to them is putting Jake back in slavery. Them at the top, we at the bottom. In their minds, when they voted for Trump, make America great again, they were thinking of back in old slavery days when Jake was pitting cotton on their farms. That spirit is still alive and is strong.
Their minds, they were hearing Trump saying the black people are going to come back to those jobs.
Wait, you mean to tell me Americans don't want to pick lettuce for $2 an hour? No. Now the farmers are crying because they can't find any workers.
Oh, I love this. I like to stick it in your face and rub it in.
What's up, guys? You don't believe why Nebraska farmers voted against their own interests, and now they are going bankrupt. Let's watch the clip. The
blacks' jobs.
So I'm saying, man, the whole world is watching. You know, Esau's skirt is being lifted up. America's skirt is being lifted up. The whole world is watching, and the whole world knows that we are so-called African Americans here, you Jakes, you Latin tribes. The whole world knows a big secret that you are the Israelites, and they all know why you're here. That you're brought here for breaking the Most High's law, statutes, commandments. They know it. Even the commoners in the other nations, you know, those in the top seats, the political seats in the top seats, the decision makers, they all know it, you know. But even the commoners know that you so-called black people here, you're the Israelites spoken about in the Bible. So they're all watching this movie, this cinema, this theater of the Most High.
And therefore, in their mind, they heard we were getting our 1,800 slaves back.
That's what I just said.
They had to have thought that their backup plan, Trump was going to miraculously, somehow, magically put all the black people back out in those fields, on those farms, and they were going to continue to get their work done. Now, that's just my thinking, because you cannot tell me that...
Well, you're thinking right. That's why the Lord said, well, affliction shall not rise up a second time, because Esau's plan, his New World Order, his Make America Great Again, his MAGA, is to put Jake back in slavery. And this is why they voted for Trump. They thought the American dream was real. That's the American dream. It's them on top and you working for them at the bottom for scraps. All right, so let's fast forward. Let's see what this person got to say. I haven't seen this video yet, this particular one.
And you ain't gonna find no American workers to do that shit. Oh, don't get me wrong. You can get American workers if you pay them. You gonna have to pay them a hell of a lot of money to work in that hot ass stuff.
Let me find somebody else. Okay, let's see what this guy got to say here.
The state of Nebraska has found out as they are ready to go bankrupt in the next 6 months. Their state...
Yep, that's right. That they say that within the next 6 months, right, they're set to go bankrupt, right, because there's nobody to work the fields. And there's Jake's. You know, I got another video. There's Jake's out in those states. There are Jakes that do have some land, and there's Jake farmers, but they're doing just fine. They're doing just fine because this entire time while these Edomites were getting help, loans, equipment, subsidized help, Jake wasn't getting shit. They were denying Jake of everything, so they had to learn how to survive, you know? And this is I'm thinking of a title of the video. Maybe I'll put the gift of the curse or something like that, because through the curses we had to learn how to survive. And so when things get rough for Esau, you know, it's nothing for Jake. It's like a breeze because this is the environment that we were raised up in, that we grew up in. All right, so let me get some scripts. Okay, I got a list of scriptures here. So let's go to Deuteronomy 30 and 7. See what that say. Deuteronomy 30 and 7. What's that? Let me get rid of that. Get rid of that. All right, Deuteronomy 30 and 7. These are signs of the times, baby. Okay, signs of the times that the Most High is removing, is putting the curses on Esau. This is a huge sign that the Lord is on his way soon. That means the light of the wicked, the Most High is extinguishing the light of the wicked. He's smothering it. And this shows you the least don't give a damn about their own kind either. Because you know what? They look at them as goyim as well. They look at them as a sacrifice, as an ends to a mean. And that mean is what? The NWO. So I said Deuteronomy 30 and 7. Let's see what that say. It says, and the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. So that's the time we're in now, where the Most High is starting to put all the curses upon our enemies. Now, let me play a little bit more of that scripture. I mean, of the video, and I'm going to come back to this and read another scripture. Then we'll segue into the other video I got. But let me hear a little bit more of this.
This economy relies heavily on agriculture, and over 70% of their workforce is from undocumented immigrants.
Yep.
Knowing this, they voted for Trump.
So-called immigrants. The so-called immigrants was doing all the work over there. And like we've always said, we've always told you brothers and sisters, right? If Jake was to stop working tomorrow, America would collapse. All right? America would collapse. America is like that nice car. You walk by and you see a nice car, you know, it's got nice paint. Like all the cars now, they got this new kind of paint they're coming out with. You know, where it's kind of like matte, but it's glossy. And it's kind of like candy looking. And they got these dope names for them. You know, candy, strawberry, and all this shit. And they look dope. The cars look nice. You know, nice wheels. But the critical part of that car, fuck what it looks like, is does it work? Is it running? Can it get you from here to there? But that's all about what's under the engine, the mechanics. Now, the northern tribes, I'm talking in the context of the farming, the northern tribes, that's the mechanics, that's the engine, the mechanics that's running all of this, right? And Esau just thought, hey, we'll just get kicked them the fuck out. And I'm gonna tell you what it really is. The real fear is that now Esau is becoming Esau is the minority. They have the same fear, because this is modern day Egypt, that Pharaoh had, where Israel's just getting way too big, and he was afraid that if there was an overthrow, an insurrection, that they would get drowned out because there's too many Israelites. And I personally believe that's one of the reasons why they're getting rid of the so-called immigrants, so that they can have a manageable number of when they bring in their troops, they bring in their forces, right? But these stupid peons, you know, they thinking about, oh, you know, they're a nuisance. We got to see them when we go to Starbucks. You know, we got to see them when you go to, what's that, Bath and Body Works, whatever that shit's called, Bath and whatever that's called. When we go to yoga class, you know, the $300 per hour yoga session with my personal trainer, I got to see the Issacharites. When I go to Home Depot, I got to see them huddled up looking for work and asking me if I need a wall built or something like that. So they're like, let's get rid of them and beautify America again, right? But it was a trap that they fell. They fell into their own trap, right? You get a scripture on that. These policies that they were voting for, they were rooting on Trump. That was all a trap set by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to make his moves, because the Most High is bringing on his NWO, the Most High is bringing on his insurrection, the Most High is bringing on the downfall of America. Because all this is doing is stressing out, bringing more stress upon America. And then the Most High hit the farms. The farms, that's the crops. So that's gonna, that's basically they're inducing the famine from every angle, right? Because they already did it from the C-19, right? They bought it. Bill Gates bought up all the farms. They slaughtered all the chickens and the cows because they had the C-19. And now he's bankrupting the farms that Esau owns over there in Nebraska and the different states, but mainly Nebraska. They're going to bankrupt in 6 months, and guess what's going to happen? The elite's going to buy up all them farms, just like they did with the C-19. They're going to buy those farms up. So this is engineered. They're going to buy the farms up for cheap. All right, so let's go to Proverbs 26 and 27. Let's go there. Proverbs 26 and 27. What does it say? It says, whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. And that's what these Edomites did. They figured when they voted for Trump and they make America great again, and Trump said kick the immigrants out, because you read the comments on the different videos about Alligator Alcatraz and about getting immigrants out. Oh man, those Edomites, they're having an orgasm. You know, they're having an orgasm. They're having a party. They're having an orgasm. Yeah, get them. You know, hope them alligators, I hope them gators get them. You know, get them immigrants out of here. You know, make room for the decent workers. Get them out of here. And now they're complaining because there's nobody to work their farms. Jake ain't going for that bullshit. They figured Jake was going to run to work on their farms. Now they don't know what the F to do. So that stone that they were trying to roll over Jake, that stone they were trying to roll over the northern tribes, which is what? The decrees, unrighteous decrees, the laws, voting in Trump. They thought that was going to be the stone, right? Because the stone is an instrument of force, something that can grind something else. So they figured they were going to beat down Jake, beat down the northern tribes with Trump and with his legislation, with his MAGA. But it was all a trap to bankrupt America even more so they could bring in their NWO. And they're going to make everybody bow down. Whether you're Edomite, whether you're Jake, as long as you're here, they don't give a F if you're Edomite. To them, you're Goyim. You ain't shit. So now you're facing the curses. Now you're falling into the trap. You thought the Most High was with you. All this time you've been enjoying your luxuries, your benefits, your cheap loans, you know, your loopholes in a subsidized benefits, which you benefit off, Section 8 loans, equipment for your farms. And Jake didn't get any of that shit. And the next video is gonna show that. But throughout all them conditions, you're the one that's gonna shit into the stick because you're the devil, right? And that's the end result of wickedness. There's a scripture about that. I can't think of it right now. But the scriptures talk about the end result of wickedness, which is what, again, is shit end of the stick. Now the curses are coming upon you, and you don't know what to do because you're used to a luxurious lifestyle. Sit down in the dust, and ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for you at all. Nobody here in America, Jake, ain't going to help you. The Most High is going to turn the spirit of Jake into a very cold, ice cold, Greenland, Alaska weather type shit. Where they're not going to give a fuck. Because you're going to come screaming for help just like you're doing in Nebraska. And Jake's going to tell you to go F yourself. And the other tribes, they're going to tell you to go F yourself. And the other nations, they're watching. They're going to tell you to go F yourself. They don't feel sorry for you. All right, let's go back to this video. You got Edomites coming up talking shit about other Edomites. And a lot of them Edomites are Jakes. You know, a lot of them are Jakes. And they're talking about, well, what the fuck did you expect? How do you like it now? Now you got to go out there and work the farms and pick your own shit. Pick your own cotton. How do you like it? This is Edomites telling other Edomites.
Hoping that he would get rid of the undocumented immigrants. And now they are severely understaffed across the entire state.
Great.
Unable to find enough workers.
Trump is doing a great job, man.
Immigrants who supplied their state with enough workforce. This is the find out stage of fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
In the next 6 months, the state of Nebraska will be entirely bankrupt, unable
Done.
to support itself, and be looking for a bailout from the federal government.
Woo-wee. Damn, boy. Let me see.
Because they let their racism and hate towards immigrants be more important than their economic livelihoods.
Oh, man, this Jake is on fire. I mean, this dude is on fire. I don't know if he's a Jake or not. Hey, but this is good, man. This is happy fucking times, bro. You know, this shit makes my fucking day. You know? Makes my fucking day. The Wadi Yahweh Shimmy How Shy. Let me see now. Let's do a little tiny bit of research right here. Let me see. Now that was Nebraska. Nebraska, yeah. How much of Nebraska is farmland? Ooh, damn. 90% of Nebraska land is used for farming and ranching. 44 million acres, damn. It makes Nebraska a leading agricultural state in the United States. Man, get ready for that famine. See how the Most High is be engineering shit? This is the Most High. Remember, go back to Egypt. You know, they had the famine. The Most High brought the famine. All right, so let's see. What else do I want to ask about this? How much supermarket stock is furnished by Nebraska? Okay. Nebraska ranks among the top agricultural states in U.S. based on sales, coming at number 4 for farm products. Ooh. The state consistently ranks as a leader in the production of key commodities that are widely stocked in supermarkets. Yeah, so get ready for that famine, man. Damn. Okay, so let's go back to the video.
There's nothing to feel bad about here. They voted for this. They knew exactly what they were voting for.
Exactly.
Now they have what they wanted. Let's see how it turns out.
Yeah.
Regarding all these farmers that are now crying about possibly losing their farms because they voted for Trump, this is why you absolutely should not feel bad for any of these farmers that voted for Trump. Now, the ones that didn't vote, yeah.
Right? That's the... you know what I'm saying? The smarter devils... The smarter devils outsmarted the dumber devils. You goyim. That's why they call you goyim. You're fucking food. You're food. You're at the bottom of the food chain, homie. You damn devils, right? The Most High work with them elites to outsmart your ass. You know, that makes me think of the scripture of who shall pity the charmer that was bitten by the snake. You know, because you're over there charming the snake being Trump, right? And this American system. And you thought you were going to charm it by voting for, saying good things. And your ass got bit. The peon snakes got bitten by the elite snakes. Because you know what? In the snake world, Snakes will eat other snakes. A snake will devour another snake. Fuck out of here. Fucking devils.
Feel sorry for them, go support them, do whatever you need to do. But the ones that voted for Trump, do not feel sorry for them, and let me tell you why. I am a builder, and I've been building shit in Oklahoma City going on like 20 years now, and farmers are not stupid. If you have the ability to manage a farm and understand the weather, the climate, your machinery, the chemistry that goes into your crops, you are not a stupid person. You're just not. And especially when you come from generational farming, you have the ability to look ahead and predict what you need to survive. And so,
Okay, guys, let's break.
And that's true, man. That's why Yahweh Shai used the example of I think he said a fig tree, right? Or a tree in general. He said when summer is nigh, and you see that the fruits start to ripen, summer is nigh. And he equated that, symbolized that knowing when the end is coming by the things, the prophecies that are coming to pass. So Yahweh Shai and the scriptures heavily use farming, putting your hand to the plow, breaking up the fallow ground, So, yeah, the farming goes hand in hand with this truth. Perfect symbolism. So I'm going to back out of here. There's one video, man, I wanted to, let me see. I'm going to look for a second. If I don't find it, then white farmers mad. Where's the one with that fucking... I mean, there was a chick, she straight up said, like, we're all the black people. I'm trying to find it, man. All right, well, if I can't find it, then white farmers sued by... oh, that was 4 years ago. Hey, them Edomites, they're used to getting whatever they want. They go to a restaurant, something's not to their liking, they'll send the whole shit back and it'll get written off for their bill. They get mad, at the car company. Car company will give them a nice, expensive loaner. Like, they're used to just crying like a baby and they get whatever they want, So any little thing that goes wrong, like here they sue Trump. They figure they could just complain and everything's going to get fixed. But nah. What did the Lord say? The Lord said that prophecies are like an arrow shot by a mighty archer. Who can turn it back? Esau, you just going to have to go through it, baby. You got to go through that fire. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to burn. It's going to roast nice and slow. It's going to roast nice and slow until the Lord just kicks over the can of gasoline, which is missiles. But until then, it's going to burn. It's going to roast. You like that. You like to sing that song about marshmallows roasting on an open fire. Most High is going to roast your ass like a marshmallow over the open fire. This hell the Lord is bringing, nice and slow, man. So let me see. Where's angry? If I can't find the video I'm looking for, then need black stuff. This might be the one. Let me see. Let me see.
75% of farm workers in California alone,
Yeah.
did not show up to work today. A lot of these are undocumented workers.
Yeah, because they figured a lot of them voluntarily left, right? Esau figured, okay, well, at least they'll come back and beg for their jobs back. But they said, man, screw you, motherfucker, and they went back home.
But there's also a percentage of them that are not showing up to their shift in solidarity. California produces and exports the largest amount of citrus fruits: strawberries, grapefruit, oranges, lemons, limes. You have grapes, you have artichokes. I see a lot of people on this app saying, oh, I'm having trouble finding a job and there's no jobs out there. But now there's going to be plenty of jobs. What I want to know is, what did Donald Trump think was going to happen? It is not just farms. These folks are roofers,
Donald Trump knew what was going to happen, man. Come on now. These people are just clueless. He's engineering the famine. Engineering the famine, right? He's getting rid of people. They don't need you anymore. They bringing robots in. They don't need these people. You know what I'm saying? And they need to bring the population down to a manageable number. And he's doing it piece by piece, step by step. Come on, man. People ain't gonna wake up. Let me see what else we got going on here.
In comments, thank you so much. You already know I appreciate each
Thanks,
and
Trump.
every one
Not.
of you. And to the new folks who just found
This is just great, man. This is oh, let me see what these comments say, man. This is just fantastic.
people working in the fields, planting, harvesting,
do yourself for hire
look
MAGA.
right.
If your
But
president would
since
have
the
it to part
recent
of it, yo, be
crackdowns
look
and
for.
deportations, those workers have disappeared, and now there's a huge labor shortage.
Yeah,
And
might
some
as
have
well
also been
delete this.
deported. And TikTok has been flooded with clips of farmers posting job ads, offering around.
Oh man, look at that. Esau's just being ridiculed. He's just popping off, talking shit. This is great, man.
US dollars per
All praise to
hour,
Yahweh
hoping
Hashem
someone
Yahushai,
will
man.
show up, but people aren't biting. And the comment sections, let's just say folks have a lot to say. So let's have a look.
Guys, Trump has done it. He has brought...
Oh, they're hiring. Hey, shit. If you need a job, you know what I'm saying? Go to you go to LA. $11 per hour. 9 to, fuck you, man. You gonna go work under that sun for $10 for 10 hours a day? Kick rocks. Yo, listen, if Issachar and them Latin tribes, them so-called immigrants are saying fuck this $11 an hour, that means, man, this place is just done.
Jobs back to the United States. AM/PM staffing services are hiring farm pickers. You can pick blueberries at their client's farm in Loranger, Louisiana for $11 an hour, 9 to 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. I tell you what, that's just living the dream. Who doesn't want to work in the fields 10 hours a day for 3 months in the summer in Louisiana? No, kids will be out of school soon. Give them something to do during the summer. I hear the kids yearn for the fields. But seriously, who are they going to get to do that? Go out picking blueberries.
Esau's becoming a laughing stock.
Supernatural force just watching over you at all times. Nothing matters. Your family might starve. Well...
Oh, man. Oh, let me see what Jay got to say.
So first, let me describe what we're seeing. What we're seeing is a protest by Maine farmers. These
now, this is a Maine.
By and large, who voted for and supported Donald Trump. While Kamala won the state of Maine.
All right, let me jump to the next one. Okay, so let's go to the next video. Let me see what else I got here for the scriptures. Because I had a couple of them about the curses and Most High reversing the curses on Esau. So I got Joel 30. We read 30. Deuteronomy. Let me go to Joel 3. See what I got there. Whoops, Joel 3. Get rid of that. Joel 3. Okay, Joel 3, 1 of 4. It says, behold, in those days and in that time when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, right? So these are the times we're entering in now. Bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, meaning the Lord is going to deliver us out of the hands of these devils, all right? No longer will we have to work for these devils, get up in the morning, to the alarm clock to get up and work. Verse 2, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel. And this hasn't happened yet, right? So this is a prophecy that still needs to come to pass where the Lord is going to summon all the nations over there in the Middle East, the valley of Jehoshaphat. And he's going to plead with them, and he's going to do them in, right? my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land, the land of Israel, right? Which are inhabited by aliens right now. Verse 2, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. So I had this, excuse me, I had a scripture on a list, but I think in other translations it mentions something about the land, so that's why I put it there. But good scripture. All right, so I read, let me see what Leviticus 26 and 16 says. I got it here. Leviticus 26 and 16, baby. It says, I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint unto you terror, consumption, and the burning ague. Thou shalt consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart, and ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemy shall eat it. Right? And the seed is what? These farms. Because these farms were being worked on by Israel here in America, as we just saw. It's not Edomites working on these farms. It was Israelites, mainly the Latin tribes, the northern tribes working in these farms here in America. But they were working on them in vain because they didn't eat. They weren't able to eat what they were planting or what they were farming. But the enemies did. The enemies made the money off of the crops. And if it was good quality crops, our people usually can't afford them. Organics, the good quality stuff. So here you are, you're planting the seeds, and you can't feed them to your family, those plants. You're not making the money off the work you're doing. You get a little chump change, whatever they pay you an hour. And from what I'm hearing is that a lot of these so-called immigrants, Esau owes a lot of them money for back pay. They would have them go out there and work for them and not pay them for weeks or months. And here it is that they got to feed their families. So this was part of the curses, but the Most High is relieving these curses slowly but surely. These curses are now coming upon Esau. All right, so let's go to the next video. Here, where's my history? History. Hold on. Okay, so here we go. Yeah. So let me rewind this.
Okay, I want to address something that I saw on YouTube in regards to a question on why we are not hearing from a lot of black farmers during the midst of this economic decline here in the United States. A lot of black farmers have had to learn to be self-sufficient without government support. So in my opinion, that's why you're not really hearing from a lot of black farmers right now.
Yeah, because it's a big thing, especially there in Nebraska and some of these other large farming states, is the big thing on the internet is that you got all these Edomites complaining, but the black farmers are not complaining. Jake is not complaining about the situation. So this is what she's talking about. Why? Why is Jake not complaining like Esau is? Crying like a baby.
Because there's not a lot of us, and a lot of us don't have loans like that. There's been a push, I know, within my circle of people to make sure that your land is paid off and that you are not relying upon the government in order to feed your family. Yeah, that's just my opinion, but what we can do is go and talk to Dad and see what Dad has to say about all of this. Yeah, so let's go check on Dad, like I was saying, and have him give his opinion on the state of black farmers here in the United States, because you don't hear too many of them, like I said, complaining online. And maybe he has an opinion that is slightly different from my own. I said what I had to say, but I think Dad might have something to add to the conversation. So, Dad, I was talking about the black farmers and what's going on with some of the farmers, like what's going on in Nebraska. Why do you personally think that black farmers are not online complaining about what's happening with the government and government policy and complaining about losing money right now?
I think the black farmers are going back to old school. They learn by now how to keep the man out their pocket. See, they learn to pay for things cash. They learning to pay off the house, pay off the farms. The government always talk about subsidies, different types of subsidies. When they sign up for the program, we as a group don't get it. You know, it goes to other people. Be honest with you, they go to the white farmers, the Asian farmers, and the system is set up for the black people, but the black people don't get it. They don't get the money.
Yeah, but you're not getting the money because it wasn't set up for you. They market it towards you, so that you could not complain and you could shut up. But just as you said, when you apply for them, you get denied. You get denied, and rather than going to you, it goes to Esau, it goes to the other nations, right? Because again, this kingdom, you weren't brought here to do well and to do good. You're brought here for punishment, right? I just read some of the curses. And if you read some of the comments, they explain it, right? So as black farmers right there, as black farmers, we learned that no one was going to save us. Keep it small and manageable, right? Black folks always know how to survive any crisis. Blessings to you and your father, right? They have a history of seizing black property. So keeping them out was smart. Right here. This one got starred. The reason why black farmers are silent is because we were never included in the money that was given by the USDA. The government discriminated against black farmers. They kept us out of the loop. We had to take our own money to build our own farms, but nothing's changed. This is how it's been in history. We had to take our own money to build our own farms from the ground up. I've been farming for over 13 years. I started my farms with my own money. Whenever I inquired about funding for minority farmers, they made it very difficult to get the information. By the time you get it, the deadline had passed to apply or money was gone, right? Because it's a scam. It wasn't meant for you, right? That's part of the unrighteous decrees. That's the false balance. It says, later I found out that white farmers were getting the funding by putting their husbands' farms in their names because white women are included in the minority group. So they were getting it, they were double dipping. So the farmers, the men would get the subsidized loan or subsidized whatever else they needed. And then their wife, the woman, would apply and get it as well. So they were very, very well to do, right? The white women were minority group, so we are silent, even though they call Jake the minority, right? So we are silent because we were never included with the money was given by the government. It was given to white farmers, so we are just farming in peace and enjoying life. And that's what I was saying earlier, is that even though we suffered them curses, right? But the curses was almost like a blessing in the end, because the Most High does things in just extravagant, wonderful ways. And you don't, at some point, way later down the line, you get the aha moment. Like, aha, that's why the Most High set things up this way, So Jake is already conditioned to being treated like shit, to get a short end of the stick. So as America is going down the shitter, Jake is going to be doing all right. And watch Esau. Esau is going to start seething with hate, and they're going to start coming at Jake. They're going to start coming at Jake violently out of jealousy and hatred, even though They're the ones that set themselves up, that set up this condition out of them thinking they're going to F Jake over, F the immigrants over. They fell into their own pit. So let's go into this other scripture I have here. All right, because it's good timing. So I brought up Proverbs 26 and 27. Let's go to Psalm 9:15, which is King David. You know, a lot of these Edomites call themselves Christians and going to church and all that, but they don't understand that a lot of these curse verses, you know, they like to read the book of Psalms, but King David spoke against them heavily. Here's one of them, Psalms 9:15. It says a heathen, right? And when he's talking about the heathen, he's not talking about you, Israel. So that's not talking about you Jakes, you Latino tribes. That's talking about Esau and the other nations, right? He said Esau, the so-called white men and the Asians and other nations were getting the funding, the subsidized benefits. You are the heathen. This is who King David is talking about. He said the heathen are sunk down in the pit. What's a pit? It's a trap. They are sunk down in the pit that they have made. In the net which they hid is their own foot taken. The Lord is known by the judgment. That's the judgment of the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And now they give you 6 months before your ass goes bankrupt. The whole state goes bankrupt. The Lord is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Most High is wonderful, man. All right, so let's read on. Let's continue on here. Let's listen a little bit more.
They'll find a loophole in there and a heartbeat for those farmers not to get the subsidies that they need. So the only thing left for the black farmer is just to keep out of debt. Stop borrowing money. If you're gonna have a bad crop,
let's fast forward
that long
some.
for that.
See what else.
National farmers, black farmers are not plentiful like they used to be, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot less farmers now.
That's what I was telling you. The black farmers is in a survival mode.
Is in a survival mode.
So if you're in a survival mode, pay off your overhead. Pay off your overhead. That's the equipment, that your farm. Make sure you have your taxes paid. Make sure your house is paid for.
Yeah, because when you're in survival mode, man, there's really not much they can take from you. You got just enough for yourself, and there's not much. There's nothing they could take from you. Now, when you're doing very good, like Esau, like them farmers, I mean, they got loans hanging over their heads. They have taken out because look, everything was subsidized for them. So they took out loans for the business. They took out loans to expand the farm. They took out loans to get state-of-the-art equipment, you know, to get the pesticides and all that stuff. So on top of the state going bankrupt, a lot of them, yeah, they're going to just go bankrupt. They're going to be in the hole. They're going to be buried in a hole of money that they're going to owe.
Don't stop going and getting loans on your property, on your assets, you know?
I've seen people get loans on their house or their land in order to buy a car.
Yeah.
That's some crazy stuff.
I think that when I talk to different farmers and different people in business, some of them is business illiterate. They don't know the difference between an asset and a liability.
Yeah.
All right, so this might be it right here.
I just sit in a chair with a cold glass of iced tea.
Yeah, anyway, man, so that's it, man. It's funny down here. A manufactured immigration crisis. Like I said, all this shit is engineered, man. Farm crisis hits America. 8 days ago, crops rot as 70% of the farm workers won't show up over ICE fears. Man, this is fantastic. So, Job, right? Terror shall make him afraid on every side. Watch all these Edomites just start crying now. Anyway, man, Lord's will, this was edifying. I'm going to say shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Karkadash, shalom.